Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan, and with this lesson I want to talk to you about the CAGED system. I decided to start this lesson with this improvisation because I wanted to show you the real essence of the CAGED system, which is not only a simple translation and transposition of chords, but is something more. It's a tool that gives you a complete awareness of the fretboard, so you'll be able to play every chord in every spot of the fretboard. And this is important because you will be able to play, for example, a C major here, 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 here. There are infinite ways to play a C major. Not only that, it will give you the theoretical awareness of the notes you are playing, because the guitarists often do the mistake of thinking about shapes and not much about notes they are actually playing. Knowing this system will give you the awareness of what notes you are playing beyond the shape. So this is called the first position, first, second and third fret, and is the place of the fretboard that you use in order to play an open chord. And an open chord is a chord that has at least one open string. There are 5 main shapes of open chords, of open major chords, that are C, A, G, E, and D. Let's talk about minor chords as well. So, for example, A minor, D minor, and E minor, my favorite chord. With this example, we will try to play C major chord, not only using the first position, but using other shapes. For example, using barré shapes. With the barré, you practically are translating an open shape up of a certain interval. For example, this is an A major. Here, with this barré, it will be a B major, because it increased of a tone. With this further increase, it becomes a C major. So, let's go ahead, don't waste all the time. CAGED system. This is a C major. Let's suppose we don't want to use these 2 frets anymore. Let's just play a C major without using these 2 frets. The answer is A major. And why? Because A, here I have the A, here is a B, and here is a C. 1 step and a half up. So, let's go ahead. How do I play a C major without using these frets from the 5th fret up? The answer is this shape, which is a G shape. And why? Because I have G here, G, A, B, and C. So this is a C. Now let's suppose to cut off even these frets. So I have this other portion. How do I play a C major chord? The answer is using an E shape. Why this? Because I have an E here, down one tone becomes a D, and down another tone becomes a C. And now, the last portion of fretboard, from here, the shape I need to use in order to play a C major chord is the D. Why this? Because I have D here, down one tone becomes a C. So what I just did, I played C here with the open shape, and then I used the A shape here, the G shape here, the E shape here, and the D shape here. So I used all the 5 main shapes, and if I put in a row all the names of the shapes I obtained literally the word CAGED. C, A, G, E, D. This means that I can use the trick of remembering the word CAGED in order to remember this sequence. Let's consider, for example, an F. because the F is an E shape translated out of a semitone using a barré. So I can use anyway the same trick, so the same order. After the E shape I have a D shape here, and then I have a C shape here, and then an A shape here, and then a G shape here, and then back again an E shape. So it's like a circle. Once you reach here, once you reach the 12th fret, you practically made a complete octave, so it's like being at the first position again. So this means that it's gonna be a circle. The rule of remembering the word CAGED works, but I think that there is another trick that I think is more useful, and is considering the notes in common. What do I mean? For example, let's consider again this C shape. This root note here, it's in common with the next shape. So if I remember this fact, this helps me remembering that next shape available is this. Let's go ahead. I have these three notes here, these three fingers here. Next shape has these notes because it's this. So practically this helps me remembering that next shape is this. What's next? Here in the G shape here I have the root note here in the 6th string and in the 1st string as well. And this reminds me that the next shape is this. I just put the barré here where I have the roots, and this is next shape. And then what's next? I have these two notes, and these two notes suggest me that the next shape is this. I put the barré here, and I play this shape. And then when I reach here, I can remember, for example, these three notes. And these three notes are in common with the C shape again. So I think this thinking about common notes is more useful because it keeps me concentrated on what I'm playing, so I don't get distracted by thinking about words and letters. So it keeps me concentrated, so practically I think it's more effective as a trick to remember. Another important thing, in my opinion, is that all these different shades has to be considered as inversion. In classical music, inversion are the fact of disposing the notes of a chord differently. For example, let's consider C major again. As its purest form, the C major is root, 3rd and 5th degree, so practically C, E and G. I have a first inversion, which is the 3rd, 5th and root note up, and the second inversion, which is 5th, root note and 3rd. So this is the basic chord. First inversion, second inversion. As you can notice, it sounds a bit differently. And why this? Because the basses are changing and the highest note, the note that sings, is changing. And all the middle notes even gives to the chord a particular nuance, a particular shade. My advice is to get familiar with these nuances you will have. For example, this is another kind of C major, and this is another kind. The ringing note, the note that sings, is the same, but the fact that the other two notes are different gives the chord another meaning. So my opinion is to get familiar with this phenomena.